7 days drinking nothing but lemon water? Let's talk about it. Hey health heroes, welcome back to Autoimmune. This channel is all about helping you improve your autoimmune health naturally. And today I wanted to tell you about my experience with the Master Cleanse. Master Cleanse is a 10-day liquid detox fast. It's similar to juice fasting, but there are 3 ingredients, and that is lemon, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup. You're supposed to drink 6 to 12 glasses of this concoction every day. I got about a gallon a day. So why did I do this? Well, back in the before time when I was working at a pawn shop, and it was probably one of the best jobs I've ever had. I love it. Maybe I'll talk about that sometime. But I was working there and my coworker said, hey, let's try this new fad diet that's going on, this new detox thing, the lemonade diet. At the time, I had never heard of it. I didn't know anything about it. So, he told me how it really helps speed up weight loss and stuff like that. And he had me at weight loss, let's be honest. At the time, I was doing pretty much every fad diet that came my way, anything that I heard about, because, I was very sick, autoimmune issues, and I was very overweight as well. I Googled it, and I guess Beyonce had endorsed it, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool, it's the celebrity thing of the week or whatever. So yeah, he talked me into it. After work, I went to Walmart and I got all the stuff. I got, several bags of lemons. I got the grade B maple syrup, which you're supposed to have raw maple syrup. I guess you can get grade A now, they've changed it, and also cayenne pepper. First off, I just want to say this was way easier than the time I did the 28-day juice fast where I just drank juice for 28 days. You can watch the video here for that train wreck. This fast was easier mainly because it doesn't require that much prep. When you're juicing, you have to cut a bunch of fruit up. It's also a lot easier for cleaning. You don't really have to use a juicer unless you do the lemons, but you can do that by hand. I just squeeze them. It is kind of exhausting, so you might get one of those, I forget what they're called, lemon squeezers. It's also cheaper, like way cheaper, because you only got 3 ingredients instead of juice where you have unlimited. I don't want to say the Master Cleanse is the poor man's juicing, but yeah. So here's a breakdown of how the Master Cleanse went for me. Day 1 was okay. I mean, it's kind of awful because the drink doesn't taste very good, but you kind of get used to it and you just kind of power through, and I'm used to doing a lot of fad diets, so if I decide to do something, I do it. Day 2, my mood changed pretty much completely. I became a terrible person. Blame the sugar. I was definitely getting hungry at this point, and my stomach kind of felt like it was on fire. Also, I was peeing probably 15 times a day. Day 3, I became very hungry and hangry. My muscles began to ache horribly all over my body. Also, on this day, I found out that the coworker that convinced me to do this in the first place, well, the little sneaky snake quit on the first day. He didn't even tell me. And so for the rest of the week, he was eating cheeseburgers in front of me. So yeah, can't say I blame him. Day 4 through 6 were just a blur of drinking this nasty stuff and special bathroom time that left me spewing red hot lava. Fun. My internal dialogue started to turn very dark at this point. So what happened to me on the 7th day? Well, I was working alone and I started to get this really awful feeling. Not like my stomach was on fire, it was the entire week, but it felt like my insides were falling out. Sorry, graphic. I really hadn't experienced anything like this before. I mean, it floored me. It was bad. So I ended up locking the door and closing down the shop and just kind of hanging out on the floor, hoping for a moment's relief. It was bad. At the time, I was sure it was a kidney stone, because I'm a Google doctor, and I Googled and it said, oh yeah, it's probably a kidney stone, and it said, oh, that's one of the worst pains there is, and in my head, this had to be the worst, right? So after a while, I decided, yeah, I gotta go to the hospital. So I decided to drive there myself. And I got outside and I was locking the door and I was about to go down the stairs when, the pain subsided just a little bit, like 20% maybe. And that was enough for me to say, hey, I can deal with this. Enough for my thrifty side to take over. Never questioned my cheapness. I never underestimated. I am the cheapest man alive. American hospitals are super expensive. If you live here, then you know what I'm talking about. Send me money, please. I didn't know this at the time, but this diet had a bad reputation for causing the formation of gallstones. So it is likely that maybe it wasn't a kidney stone, maybe I was passing a gallstone, I don't know. Honestly, all I know it was something I don't want to go through again. Beyonce, if you're watching this, I forgive you. So Adam, were there any benefits to this cleanse? Well, yeah, I suppose you could say I lost 15 pounds in that 7 days, which, you know, that's kind of an extreme amount of weight for a short time. Of course, I gained it all right back right afterwards, and then some. I guess that's what happens when you pretty much do a sugar fast. That's basically what it is. I mean, it's lemons, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup. Maple syrup is, you know, mainly just sugar, right? You know, yeah, it's natural and it isn't completely void of nutrients and vitamins, but basically it's just sugar, and getting all of your calories from sugar for a whole week, or you're supposed to go 10 days or 40 days. I just watched this YouTuber that went 40 days and she said she was getting 1,200 calories. I was getting maybe 600, so I don't know, she was doubling up. I don't know how that's gonna affect your long-term health, but it can't be good. I get why people do this. You know, I know why I did it. I was desperate for weight loss and just a little bit of improvement with my health. You know, people will latch onto things, you know, if they're suffering, they'll pretty much do anything, right? But if you're the person that is just looking for some fast, quick weight loss without putting in the work, and you know who you are, don't bother with this, because it's just not going to help you in the long term. You're just going to gain the weight back anyway. Not to mention the effects of living sugar rush to sugar rush. That is a roller coaster you probably shouldn't get on, especially if you are insulin resistant. It will just bring you that much closer to type 2 diabetes. Also, it is recommended that people with cancer, anemia, intestinal obstruction, gallstones, people who are underweight or have a history of eating disorders do not try this. Now that's the suggestion from the medical community, not me, but honestly, I definitely agree with that. So how did people react to me doing the Master Cleanse for a week? Well, you know, some people kind of thought I was crazy, you know, looked at me a little bit weird when I was just drinking this weird stuff. But my friends, again, they knew what I did. I always tried every fad diet out there because I was sick. And that's how I stumbled upon the AIP diet. Obviously, that's how I found autoimmune remission and 135 pounds of weight loss so far. But all my videos are about that, so you can watch all my other videos on the channel. That's what this channel is mainly about. But again, I just wanted to share my story of how the Master Cleanse went. So don't judge me too harshly, okay? I did find what works for me, and maybe you can too. If you haven't found it yet, maybe try the AIP diet. But there is a reason why this juice fast diet detox had such a horrible effect on my health. And the reason for that is I am severely sensitive to nightshades. And like in the juice fast, people said, well, you probably should just not had tomatoes and potatoes, you shouldn't be juicing them. Well guys, I didn't know at the time, okay? It wasn't until I did the AIP diet and figured out all my triggers that I learned to stay away from certain things like nightshades, all the vegetables in the nightshade family. So yeah, cayenne pepper is a pepper, which most peppers are nightshades, and it tore me up something fierce. If you are gonna do this, don't add cayenne pepper, maybe just try it with cinnamon, and hey, maybe it'll work for you, you know? Maybe do it for a day, maybe 3, but 7 days is a lot. 10 days is a lot, 40 days is an extreme amount. Please don't do that, okay? Again, it is mostly a sugar fast. I mean, we can all agree on that, right? Sugar is bad, and just eating sugar for an extended amount of time is not going to be good for your health. I'm just glad I did the AIP diet before I got around to trying, you know, urine therapy. People drinking their own pee. Like, I really was that desperate. I probably wasn't that far from trying it. I would have done anything for just a little improvement. I really would have. So I should mention right now that there isn't any evidence that this cleanse does what it claims it does. It claims that it can help remove toxins from your body. Again, detoxes really don't have any science-based information to back that up. But it does actually help with weight loss, an extreme amount really quickly. The problem is you gain it all right back afterwards, 90% of the time. But there is a way to work around this. You can adopt a healthy lifestyle after doing this, and some people do, and they're able to keep it off and then keep losing weight and have a healthier life. Now, if you were eating fast food and chocolate and candy bars and junk food all the time, and then you're going to do this fast, actually it might have some improvements. You really might. It just all depends where you're at in your life. it's all a matter of perception, right? So if you are still set on doing the lemonade master cleanse, then I guess all I can say is it's better than the potato diet. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the video on that nightmare. Drop a like if you love animals and enjoy drinking maple syrup. Dislike if you like adding cayenne pepper to your urine therapy. Thanks for watching. See you next time.